Alrighty, happy Thursday, everybody. For today's math lesson, we're going to do a few different things. We're going to learn about greater than and less than, and we're going to read a greater than and less than book series to get used to those terms. And then we're going to do another little exploration with volume, where we look at different containers and see if we can figure out which one's the biggest, which one's the smallest, or if they are the same size. So let's go ahead and get going. Alright everybody, today we are going to learn about and practice using the phrases greater than and less than. Greater than and less than. Can everybody say greater than, and less than? Less than. So we'll read two books. First we're going to read the greater than book, and then we'll read the less than book. Follow along with me as we learn about what the terms greater than and less than mean, and we count objects and look at numbers to figure out how to use them. This book is called Greater Than, written by Rachel Rice, illustrated by Deborah Pearson Hun. Greater than. Our words to know for this book are compare, which means to look at two things and figure out how they relate to one another. Look at two things and figure out information about them. Greater than, which means more than. Greatest, which means the most or the largest. More. Numbers and vegetables. Many vegetables grow in the garden. Period. Compare the numbers to find which one is greater. Period. There are 2 beets. How many beets? 2. 1, 2. 2 beets. There are 5 carrots. 5 carrots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carrots. 5 is greater than 2. 5 is greater than 2. That means that 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is more greater than 2. 1, 2. There are more carrots than beets. So 5 is greater than 2. There are 3 yams. 3 yams. 1, 2, 3. 3 yams. There are 4 onions. 4 onions. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 onions. 4 is greater than 3. 4 is greater than 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is more greater than 1, 2, 3. 3. There are more onions than there are yams. There are 6 beans. 6 beans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 beans. There is 1 pepper. 1 pepper. 1. Six is greater than 1. 6 is greater than 1. 6 is greater than 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beans is greater than 1 pepper. There are more beans than there are peppers. Which group of vegetables has more than any other? Which number is the greatest? That's right. We had the most beans. We have more beans than any other vegetable. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beans. That's all we're going to learn about greater than today. Can everybody say greater than? Greater than? Greater than means more than or larger than. Next, we're going to learn all about less than. We just learned all about the concept and the phrase greater than. Now we're going to learn how to use less than. We'll read the book Less Than, written by Rachel Rice, illustrated by G. Ishida. Less than. Our words to know are compare, which means to look at 2 things or 2 numbers and see how they relate to each other, see which one's more, which one's less, see how they're different and the same. Count. Fewer, which means less than or smaller than. Less than. Numbers. And total. Total is how many altogether. Who has fewer fish? Count the fish to find the numbers. Compare the numbers to find which is less. Sam has 3 yellow fish. How many fish? 3 yellow fish. 1, 2, 3. 3 yellow fish. Sarah has 2 yellow fish. 2 yellow fish. 1, 2. 2 yellow fish. 2 is less than 3. 2 is less than 3. 1, 2 is less than 1, 2, 3. 2 fish is a smaller number than 3 fish. She has 4 red fish. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 red fish. He has 1 red fish. 1 red fish. 1. 1 is less than 4. 1 is less than 4. 1 is less than 1, 2, 3, 4. There are less red fish over here than there are over here. He has 5 blue fish. 5 blue fish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 blue fish. She has no blue fish. No blue fish. What number of fish does she have? 0. That's right. She has 0 blue fish. 0 is less than 5. 0 is less than 5. Who has fewer fish total? Let's count how many fish she has and then how many fish he has. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She has 6 fish all together. How many fish does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He has 9 fish. What number is smaller, 6 or 9? That's right, 6 is the smaller number. She has fewer fish than he does. And that's all we'll learn about less than today. We learned about greater than, which means more than or larger than. And we also learned about less than, which means smaller than or fewer than. And we'll keep using those words the rest of the week and when we do math in the future. Okay, so for today's main math lesson, we're going to talk about volume again. So to talk about volume today, I have 3 different containers in front of me. I have this container. You can see that it's a little bit bigger than 1 cup. On this side, you can tell, here's 1 cup and it's a little bit bigger than that. It's full of rice. And then we have 2 different cups. We have this cup and this cup. If you look at it, one of these cups is a little bit shorter than the other one. One cup is a little bit wider than the other one. And so we're going to see which container holds the most. We have our clear container, we have our brown container, and we have our white container. And we're going to see which container holds the most. Right now, if you were going to pick, which container do you think is going to hold the most? The clear, the white, or the brown? Which one do you think is going to hold the most? All right, well, let's go ahead and see. So to figure out which container holds the most, I have rice in one of them, and we're going to pour the rice between the containers to see how much rice we can get to fit in each container. So right now you can see that this is completely full. It is filled to the brim with rice. And if you do this at home after the lesson, make sure you put something under where you're experimenting so you don't spill rice or water or beans all over the place. And I'm going to take it and pour it into our brown container. Be really careful not to spill. Here we go. So it looks like we spilled a little bit, but we were able to get all of the rice from our clear container into our brown container. So even though our clear container is our clear container is shorter than our brown container, they actually hold the same amount. They hold the same amount, even though the clear one is shorter than the brown one, they hold the same amount. Why do you think that is? Yeah, well, that's because the clear container, even though it's shorter, is way wider than our brown container. See? It is way wider than our brown container. So even though it's shorter, it has more space from side to side. So they hold the same amount. Can we say that? The same amount. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour all my rice back into the clear container. See if we can get it all to fit back in there. There we go. And now let's see how much our white container holds. Do you think it's going to hold more than our clear container, less than our clear container, or the same amount? What do you think? More, less, or the same amount? Well, let's see. Whoa. And there we go. So what do you think? Now that we have all of the rice inside of our white cup, do you think it holds more, less, or the same amount as our clear container? Yeah, it holds the same amount. And we know that because all of the rice fit into our white cup. So even though all three of our containers look different, they all actually hold the same amount. And how do we know that for sure? We know that because the same amount of rice fits in all three containers. So even though they look different on the outside, they all have the same volume because they all hold the same amount of rice. Hope everybody enjoyed today's math lesson where we learned about greater than, less than, and did some exploring with volume. After today's lesson, I would like you to complete some of the worksheets I have on our Google Classroom and on Class Dojo. They're linked right below this video in both Google Classroom and Class Dojo. So please go ahead and complete those. You can print them out and actually complete them with paper and pencil and crayons. Or if you have an iPad or a phone or something like that, you can do it on your iPad or on your phone. And parents, can you please send me a photo of the work when it is completed? You can text it to me, you can Class Dojo it to me, whatever way works best. But if you're able to complete those worksheets, whether you print them out or whether you just do them on the phone or the iPad and take a picture, please go ahead and send me a photo of that completed work so we can start tracking attendance and participation for quarter 4. Okay, thanks guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.